What's up, everyone? This is Sam from Backcountry Live. Today we're going to be talking about the all-new KTM 2020 lineup, more specifically on anything that is new. So if you're familiar with KTM, they've been trying to push the envelope in the two-stroke world. So they've been creating some fuel-injected two-strokes. So they had a 300 and a 250 Xc Tpi they introduced a few years ago. Now they are going to be pushing that into other bits of their lineup. So let's jump right into it. So here we are on the KTM's website, and we're going to jump actually over to the Enduro bikes first. And the reason for that is because that's what's really new in the KTM lineup. So as you can see under the two strokes, they have the TPIs that they had introduced a few years ago, but they also now have the 300 and the 250 Xc Tpis, which for 2019 those were carbureted two strokes. Now they are fuel injected. So that's the new news for KTM. Let's kind of dive a little bit into that and see what that actually means. So the 2020 300 Xc Tpi, as you can see, is a little bit different from looking than from the 2019s. The seat and the graphics and the kind of the actual overall geometry, the bike looks pretty similar to the 2019. You can notice really quickly that it's got a new expansion chamber that's supposed to be stronger and better and has these corrugated lines in them. Hopefully, I think that's for to keep the pipe from denting or moving around or whatever. So it's supposed to be a stronger expansion chamber. The other thing you notice is the 2020 lost its backup kickstarter. Now, if you're on a MX track or you're a motocross rider or something like that, that's not a big deal because you're close enough to your truck in most cases that if the bike dies and you wear out your battery for whatever reason, or you have electrical issue, you can just push it back to the truck. But if you're way out in the middle of nowhere, 40, 50 miles away from the truck, and your battery dies, what are you going to do? You have no backup kickstarter. Now, I'm hoping that you can put a backup kickstarter because the place where the kickstarter was is still there. So you might be able to put that on. It might be because KTM's trying to keep the bike light. For example, the 2019 KTM 300XC with the carburetor is 220 pounds dry, so dry weight. Let's see what this one is. No, tell us. I think it told. So the actual, let's see if it's under the chassis or anything like that. I found it somewhere. Their website's really not very reliable, but that's all right. So let's actually go to a different resource here. So yeah, the 2020 KTM 300XC is going to weigh 223.3 pounds. So not that much more, obviously, than the 2019s. You would think that the TPI, all the fuel-injected hardware, would add more weight, but it didn't. And maybe that's why they dropped the backup kickstarter as well. So what else is new? They also, with these new 2020s, they're introducing a new ambient air pressure sensor. So it's a pressure sensor that essentially allows for different altitude compensation. So people that live in like the western United States or places where they can go from lower elevation to higher elevation in one day, that actually is a pretty cool feature. And then they have that new exhaust system they say that reduces the weight but also then has more of a durable construction. And then up front for the fork, they have the new XACT, spelled XACT, front fork, and same in the rear shock. So they have the new WP XACT rear shock. And that's pretty much the only thing that are new as far as the 2020 is concerned. The same thing with the 4-stroke lineup. They basically got a new fork, a new rear shock, and that's it. So nothing too much for the 4-strokes. But the new news is this new 300 Xc Tpi, which is exciting and also sad for some people, because a lot of the reason people loved 2-strokes was they're just simple, easy to work on, not super complex, and they weren't as expensive. And so carbureted motor does act different than a fuel injected motor. Now KTM claims that they have gotten as close as possible to have a carbureted feel. I really did like the 300 XCW and the 250 XCW TPIs. They do have a very linear power band. They were good bikes. I don't really have anything bad to say about them, but there is some worry, and chatter about how long the fuel injected 2-strokes will last as far as their reliability and so forth. But that's like anything with new bikes. So it may drive the cost up as well, which is kind of unfortunate as well. But it's still a 2-stroke. It's still going to be easier to work on than a 4-stroke. You got to remember, all the 4-strokes have pretty much all gone to fuel injected as well. Anyway, so yeah, we're excited to see what this bike can do and how it is and how it compares to the 300 and the 250 carbureted bikes. But anyways, appreciate you guys watching. Please hit the subscribe button. Let us know in the comments what you think about this new 2020 KTM 300 and 250 XC TPIs. Thanks for watching.